All right, here we go. Very first episode of, I don't know, whatever this is going to be. And thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day, GG. First of all, yeah, Goodtimez Gaming. Welcome to the channel, mate.
George, Jolie, great to be here, brother. Thank
Uh,
you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on. We were actually talking about this, I think, about over a year ago now.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I like texted you and I DM'd you saying I've got this idea. I think I'm going to do like a talking podcast thing one day, and here we are. And that was, I think, after your
Yeah.
second or third episode of Hits of the Week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I think you featured real early, eh?
yeah, the second
You,
episode. I actually went back
oh,
and
what
watched
was
it.
the second?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, but I just took you a year to get here, but it's wicked, man. I'm grateful that you're starting it, and yeah, honored to be number one. It's
that's it.
sick. Let's go. Let's get into it.
I actually knew you were going to be number one back when you did Hits of the Week. I actually knew that you were going to be the number one guest. Like, I got to do this one day. And I said, this guy actually like seems like he's got good personality and got good, like, he's going to be good, eh? But I actually did go back through your Hits of the Week, yeah? Because I wanted
Yeah,
to sort of go back and sort of check it out, yeah? And the actual growth.
you're not gonna play anything, I hope.
No, I'm not going to play nothing. Don't stress, don't stress. No, the actual growth is pretty crazy. I don't know if you ever go back and watch your old stuff, but I always love going watching channels and watching the old stuff to see how far they've come.
Yeah.
And have you gone back and watched your first Hits of the Week recently?
When I did the montage of the 52 episodes, or I had to naturally go back and look at some of that, and it's super super cringeworthy. But yeah, it's great to see from where I started to where I am now. Yeah,
I don't think
it's good.
I don't think it was cringy. I was actually like really like impressed because I was like, oh wow, because you know when you watch someone for so long, you don't really see the growth necessarily, and then when you go back, you see the obvious big jump. And
Yeah,
because your first one, you had the idea. The Hits of the Week was obviously always a great idea. I said that to you
hmm,
like I think
hmm.
it was day one. That was a great idea. But I was watching it, and you're sitting there, and you're kind of like just nodding your head, and you weren't really.
Yeah,
It's like you didn't even know what to say. It was really cool.
no,
And then you watch
no,
now, and you've like big personality, big, and you're talking about the channels, and you're mentioning that, and it's grouse. Like,
yeah.
do you get impressed with yourself? Like going, oh wow, I actually go a long way. I actually have come a long way. And
Yeah, well, it was a lot of help from the community. So I come up with the idea because I was just watching tons of YouTube and I was trying to talk to my mates about it and going, "Hey, have you seen this? How good was this?" And they were like, "No, I haven't seen it. We don't have time, bro. We're not sitting in hotel rooms for work." And I was like, "Okay, hang on a minute. So how can I get them to see it without, stealing content necessarily and trying to promote other people's channels at the same time?" So that's where it sort of come about, and then I just kept getting feedback. I was like, okay, guys, community seemed to be okay with it. So that's the box number one ticked. And then, yeah, I just started getting as much feedback as I could. Okay, what's happened? Oh, the pace is a bit slow. I was watching other reaction channels and, yeah, there wasn't a ton of energy. And I was like, okay, I need to bring some energy and excitement into this. And sort of, I got a bit more relaxed with the concept and knew what direction I was trying to head in. So then it all just sort of took off from there, bro. It was good.
well, that's good. Yeah. Because I was about to say, you actually just sidetracked me then at a second for a second as well. I was about to say something else. Um, oh my god, I'm actually having a brain melt right now. What I was about to say something and I've fully forgot. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm having a brain freeze.
It happens to the best of us.
Oh, no, bad. I'm actually having a full brain. I actually fully lost my train of thought completely just now.
Side note, can you hear my notifications on my Discord?
Nah, not even a little bit.
Okay. Hope
Hits of the
not.
week. Blah, blah, blah. I forgot what I was going to say, so I'm just going to jump in back into another question I had pre-planned. So with the Hits of the week, oh no, going back to the community, that's what I was about to say. Going back to the community, you've actually done
Yeah.
a really good job, I think, of actually making it a community thing. It's not just a Hits of the week; it's a good time thing. You've actually made a really good deal of, I think, making it everyone else's kind of thing because you're going, all right, this is a Sunday Hits of the week. What happened
Yeah.
this week? You know, was that kind of the idea? Like, make it more about the community as well, like
Yeah, for
promote
sure.
other channels.
Well, we promoted what 170 something channels last year, which is just insane when I think about how many people I've found and how many times because I've found a lot of channels, but they actually have to pull a hit as well for me
Yeah,
to put it in the video. So yeah, that was a little bit of a challenge. I always wanted to feature some new people, and so many people have messaged saying, "Hey, thanks for featuring me." And other people have said, "Wow, I've found some other channels that I've never seen before as well." Because a lot of people go live and they don't necessarily put out videos
mm,
all the time, like long form videos. And a lot of people go live and it's they don't really do a recap of their own hits or anything like that.
yeah,
So I was thinking, well, how can I, spread some of these channels out? And yeah, it'll worked out pretty well. I mean, the community seemed to love it, which is great.
How do you find most of the people? Oh, sorry.
And I was just going to say, and what's good is, yeah, they're so excited now that they're trying to share their hits with me as well, which is wicked, because I've cut it down to a top 10, and then, you know, some special mentions and stuff. So, you know, it's great to try and showcase as many different channels still, but only really 10 different channels at the same time, and everyone wants to be on it. It's good.
I was gonna say, it's pretty hard. Is it hard to cut it down to a 10, especially if like a new set comes out and, like, just say Obsidian Flames comes out, for example, and everyone's pulling the big Zard? How do you go, oh crap, I can't have just 50 Zards in a row? Like, how do you cut it down to a 10? Yeah,
super difficult. Sometimes some weeks it's actually quite hard because I try to tell a story with the video at the same time. So I will the upcoming video coming out soon is Vintage Week. So I come up with the idea, and I thought it was a great idea, and I saw a couple people pulling some vintage bangers, and I went, gee, I've got to find 8 more. I've got to find eight more vintage, and a few people were opening vintage, but they weren't actually pulling anything good, and I was like, what have I done here? I've sort of ruined myself. But eventually the heaps more people were pulling it on live streams, and they just happened to get good hits, so it all sort of worked out. But at the same time, PALDEA and Fates had dropped, and so I've sort of got to put a little bit of that into it as well at the same time. So you tend to get there, you tend to work it out. But it's hard not to repeat the same hit. Everyone's pulling the top hit, and everyone's telling me about it, and I'm like, well, I can only pick one, really.
It's kind of like you almost want people to keep opening older stuff too anyway, because otherwise, if everyone's opening PALDEA, if everyone's opening up, like, you know, the new set, like, not everyone wants to see the same shiny Charizard, you know. And it's hard too, because everyone's like, oh yes, I got the shiny Charizard, I'm gonna be on hits of the week this week.
I'll just break it up with different memes all the way through the same card.
But kind of going back to what you said just before, like, that's actually really good that you've not only have you made this channel and this, like, you know, this episode, you know, series, it's now become a thing. It's kind of becoming like a culture thing, People hit a big card in their live streams, and they're like, "Shoosh, shoosh," or they're like, "Oh, hits of the week," and everyone, like, you know, gives you the big pop as well. But also, it's become just like the shoosh has just become like, it's becoming like a pop, like a thing in the Pokemon community. It's great.
I didn't expect that. That was crazy. So, you know, I introduced the shusher because I needed something to shush with. I needed something else while I was watching people, like, filming my reaction to people, you know, with the hits. And just happened to have these ties laying around and thought, sweet, you know, we'll shush people with it. You know, shush, such a big hit, let's go. And it just grown from there. It's crazy. The original one was from a Disney movie, I think. It's called Home, where the alien race, the boobs, had a shusher. It was like a pole, and they'd smack people with this stick. If like the king of the aliens or whatever would smack someone with a stick and tell them to shush if they were speaking out of line. And so it's just sort of all mashed together, and that's sort of where it stemmed from. But it's crazy that like, I'll be in a live stream just lurking, and someone will pull a hit, and then the chat goes crazy. Everyone writing shush in there. And then my phone goes off, you know, Broly just pulled this or whatever, you know, and then I'll jump in and be like, oh, someone threw the bat signal up, you know, what's going on? And it's just an awesome culture and thing that we're bringing along, which is great. And I don't want to stop it either.
That's awesome. That's almost like a weird, that's a weird, you know, like the little things that make the big difference. Like, you probably didn't think that going shush and waving a tie would be like a big thing, right? But then it does. It becomes like something that, you know, you spend hours, like, you know, trying to get your videos looking right, you know, your audio good, all the editing, all the crap you do, right? And then like something as simple as like waving a tie and saying shush becomes like this big phenomenon. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird, it's crazy in my head, but it's like a good thing, you know. It's like something simple.
I know Jolie and Shoeies.
Shoeies. Oh yeah. I don't even know.
Jolie's known for the Shoeies.
But that's the community making that a thing. It's kind of the same thing, Like,
but you sort of have to run with it at the same time,
100%.
Because
that's why I'm wearing a Walking Dead t-shirt right now, mate. That's why I'm wearing a Walking Dead t-shirt right now.
I saw it, and I was like, I'm gonna mention that in a minute for sure. I love it.
It is like that though, right? Did you ever find any sort of like pressure with that? Like, you go, okay, cool, now I've created not a character per se, but now I've got this is a long running thing. Obviously it's working. I've got to go with it. And is that something you sort of like look at? You go, oh, do I have to keep playing into this? Do I try something different? Do I?
I mean, I don't feel any pressure that I have to do it because I like it. You know, it's not too bad. It doesn't change my personality doing it. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty relaxed. It's funny. You know, it's all good, and you know, other people can easily join in. It's funny seeing one recently pokey stalked with his hand puppet.
Yeah.
That he's got going now.
Yeah.
He's got a hand puppet in his live streams now that he brings out
Brilliant.
every now and then. And it's hilarious, and that's because his face cam died and he wanted to interact with his chat, so he put a sock on his hand, and now it's a full thing, pokey sock.
That's funny.
So people have these things that the community latch onto, and yeah, I mean, it's if people are getting enjoyment out of it and it's not too stressful to do it, then yeah, why not continue it? I mean, I want to get T-shirts one day with SHOOOOSH written across it and all that, you know,
I would love it.
hits of the week stuff. But yeah, that would be cool. It would be wicked. But
I feel like you need to get continue snapbacks. I feel like you need to get snapbacks. Is this because that's a Pokemon proper Pokemon hat, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're the only guy I've seen wear it. Does anyone else wear it? Like with all this?
I've seen one dude commented on a video like middle of last year. And he commented, "Hey, we got the same hat." I can't remember where they're from. I've got like 3 of them. They're off like eBay or something. I don't know where the missus got them from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I just wanted to wear a hat one day, and it sort of stuck, and it sort of goes with the tie now as well. So it's just a thing. But yeah, so I've got more than one that I just interchange.
Nah, that's good. That's good. I wear the same hat for I've been wearing the same hat every episode for like 2 years now. So yeah, no, good.
It's good.
I was gonna ask, how do you when you not so much growing, sort of going back to that sort of point I had before. I think this is what I was trying to originally say before. When you look back and you look back and like you said, oh, you know, I need to put more energy into it. I need to put more of this. How do you go to do that? Because that's like one of the big things I have problems with. A lot of people have problems with, as in like, I like to call it when you go full YouTube. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because there's that, everyone has their first videos where they sit there and they're like, hi, my name's Doug, and here's my Pokemon cards, yeah? But then they get
you see that? That's my first episode, man. I had a script and I spoke for like 20 minutes at the start, and I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's just...
but when you first decided to do that, do you have the same YouTube, what's the word? Like the YouTube... Like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, that everyone has, I feel, when they start YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's part and parcel of growing on YouTube, I suppose. You know, it's as hard as it is, and much as you don't want to do it, you have to go back to your older content and learn from it. And you know, I spoke to a lot of people, and they were like, "Mate, it's great, it's good the way it is, but it just needs a faster pace." And then, you know, I was watching it and I was like, gee, I can only watch this like once.
Yeah.
And then, and that's it. And I was like, if it had more pizzazz and more energy, then I could probably come back and, you know, rewatch it a little bit. So it was just about learning from my own sort of mistakes. Well, it wasn't really a mistake, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not, you're right. It's not mistakes. I think at the start, it's everything. You're trying to learn about YouTube. You're trying to learn about cameras and lighting, and then like your personality kind of takes the last sort of bit, in my opinion. I don't know, like sometimes you're just trying to get everything to work and figure stuff out, and then you're trying to navigate that and Instagram just to make yourself bigger. So like the personality,
and then you move country, and then you're back to the caveman set up for the original.
Mate, how's that going?
You've just set up yours, which looks epic.
Oh, thank you.
But
I like your big Pokemon logo behind you. Actually, I actually just bought a sticker. I just bought a big Pokemon sticker. Shout out to Sticker 2, by the way. To put on one up the back on my car thing. But yeah, so how was that moving country?
That's an acrylic sign that some random dude in Adelaide made up for me, which is wicked.
Oh, no way, that's awesome. There's a light up. You got to put neon lights
behind it. I'll put LEDs behind it.
Nice.
When I get my new studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, NZ, big move. Big change. It was cool to keep bringing videos out through that period as well, and people seeing the change, and when we were loading up, you know, the truck and moving to New Zealand and having New Zealand sort of stuff featuring my videos a little bit, letting people know. But yeah, it's been a massive move. Crazy. I don't wish it upon anyone. Don't move country. Just stay where you are.
Mate, we moved 2 minutes down the road, and it was a nightmare. So I can imagine how bad. Did you take all your Pokemon collection with you, or did you go,
Yeah.
I got to cull some of this? Oh, you took it all?
No, I definitely culled a bit. I culled a bit. Reached out to a few mates, and I had a bunch of sealed stuff, and I cut it down a fair bit. I went through my inventory, and thought, yeah, I could probably do without some of this. So I definitely cut it down a bit, but I'm staring at an enormous racking full of sealed stuff at the moment that we've kept in boxes until we move into our new place in 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited for that.
You got a place you're moving into?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Thank goodness,
grouse.
finally, after what is it, 8 months?
Yeah.
So yeah, stoked. It's gonna be wicked, and then I can have the new studio set up, proper lighting. It's gonna be wicked. Can't wait. And then yeah, fully crank back into the videos again,
Yeah,
and away
nice.
we go for the rest of the year.
You gonna jump back into doing lives, or like
Yeah,
lives and proper long form again?
yeah. So I've only just. It's going to be a bit sporadic the next
Yeah.
few weeks, just because we're moving, and I've got lots on with the family. So I'm just dropping content instead of once a week. It's coming out. Oh, it could be 1.5, 2 weeks, 3 weeks even.
Yeah.
With the odd random short in between and stuff like that. And if I can squeeze a live gaming stream, then I certainly will. But yeah, once I get settled, it'll hopefully be back to dropping long form videos once a week, and gaming. I've got a schedule that I want to get to twice a week gaming, so at least every Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
And then Saturday will alternate between like a card opening sort of live stream and or a Pokemon sort of gaming live stream as well. So
Yeah.
pretty keen. I've got some plans for the
Got a
year,
lot
so
of
yeah,
stuff,
can't
mate.
wait just to get into it, eh?
Well, that's
It's
actually a
gonna be
good segue into the gaming questions. I got a few gaming questions, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna ask. So you started off as a gaming channel. You're obviously
Yeah.
back at that now because you sort of took gaming for a bit of a break.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you've
for
kind of
sure.
gone back
Yeah.
into it now. And is that because is it easier to do the gaming thing than the Pokemon thing? Do you enjoy it more than the Pokemon thing? Is what I was going to ask as well. Like, because you sort of
Yeah.
are you more into the gaming side of things, or?
Love the gaming side of things, obviously. It's awesome, and it started the channel with that, but I didn't have kids when I started the channel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So when the kids came along, I didn't have time to game as much, and if you're not gaming, you can't get the gaming clips that you need.
Yeah,
So
it's true. Yeah,
it would take, because I used to do our best kills and stuff in Call of Duty and all of that, which was really fun and awesome, and it was good to showcase some of the lads that I played with as well. But I just couldn't get content fast enough, and they were sending me some stuff, but I just couldn't get it, and then I'd have to edit it together. And so when the kids come along, we sort of put the brakes on the gaming side of things.
yeah,
It was more just offline sort of stuff, just Game Boy and Switch and bits and pieces, just to keep me entertained. And then when my daughter got 2.5 years old, she found her love for Pokemon through Netflix, which is wicked.
Yeah.
The OG series, and then that's where it sort of stemmed from. We went to she got me back into it. Because she loved watching it, and I was like, "Oh, I used to collect all these cards. Yeah, awesome, sweet." And then we went to the corner store and bought packs. And the first pack we bought was Unbroken Bonds, and that was in 2019 now, which is 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I started opening packs on channel with her. With my daughter to make some memories, and then it's now back slowly getting back into gaming after 4 years, which is awesome.
How did you get back into? Well, how did you decide you were going to do a YouTube channel from the packs? You just ripping packs and you think, I could turn this into a YouTube channel. Is that what you thought?
I was watching it. Yeah, I was watching everyone's favorite mate. So
which one's that one?
I'll tell you in a second. So we bought the packs, right? And then I was like, okay, sweet. And then I was like, oh, well, what are the best cards to pull? And then I sort of found YouTube, and I was like, wow, people are opening them up hard out on YouTube. And my daughter loved guessing the energy from Leonhardt. And Leonhardt, opening Unbroken Bonds in the library and stuff, and pulling the Rainbow Charizard and stuff. So that's where it all got back into it. And she loved Fairy Energy, and he used to make a song and dance about it. But that's where it sort of stemmed from. I thought, gee, we could probably open some packs. And I spoke to my wife, and she was like, hey, yeah, it'd be good to, get some memories with the kids that we can look back on. She's nearly 7 now. We look back, to when we were opening, and when she was 3 years old. And it was crazy though. She freaking knew all the OG Pokemon, eh?
Yeah.
I was just opening them, and she was rattling off the names. It was awesome. And then, so yeah, we just gave it a crack. They were super cringe, like kitchen table sort of stuff.
Everyone's first videos are all super cringe, though. I wouldn't stress.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then it kicked right into gear when we opened a random Pokeball, and in that Pokeball had evolutions, and we pulled the evolutions Holo Zard, and then that was it. Because then that was all the base set stuff that I was collecting back when I was younger. That all just came flooding back, and that was it.
The massive
no turning back from then. Yeah. So no, it's been good.
Were you collecting back in the day? Yeah. So you were collecting back in the 90s when Pokemon was like the only thing that existed.
Yeah. So I was heavy into the Game Boy side of things, red and blue and yellow, and then did the cards right up till sort of Team Rocket. It started or the end of Fossil, and then I just stopped completely and went into just gaming. Pokemon gaming side, Game Boys, pretty hard. Yeah. And then moved out of home. Mum sold all my cards.
That old story, eh?
and that was it. But now we'll going hard with the base set stuff, trading at school and high school and primary school and stuff and doing all of that. So yeah, for sure. We'll ride into it. And then stopped sort of at the end of Fossil. Really. Yeah. Collected a bunch of Aerodactyls, and that was her.
Were you still into it through high school? Because I feel like that's the story I hear a lot. It's like, it was big in the late 90s. Because what was it, 98, 99? I remember it being massive in primary school. So I finished primary school in 99.
Primary school, definitely.
Yeah, I remember it being the biggest thing. And I actually hated it. But low-key, I actually loved the Game Boy games. Same thing, my cousin had the Game Boy games. I thought the card game was the lamest thing ever. Let's be honest, I'm sorry, but I did. I thought it was lame.
Yeah.
And then obviously high school happened, and then I discovered girls, and that becomes your life for the next 10 years.
100%.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of people dropped out of it at high school. Like that's, they just, is that the same sort of thing? You just sort of got out of it?
Pretty much. Just fell out of it. I had the Game Boy side of things. That was sweet. But then, so it went from cards to Game Boy, and then it went to girls and partying and all the rest of it. And then in the gaming scene, then Halo comes along and Xbox, and you're doing LAN parties and mate, that, and then it it just grew away from it, really. The whole Pokemon thing, and then my daughter got me back into it, so it's good.
I do feel like Pokemon did take a dip there in the mid 2000s, like.
Yeah,
I felt like.
Yeah, I think so.
I felt like I didn't hear about it. Like you talk to the hardcore guys, they'll say, "It never left you." But like the reality was, I don't think it was in the mainstream as much. I don't think it was. I don't think as many.
And
places
the sets were a lot smaller. They they weren't bringing out as many. Especially the EX eras and all that. So yeah, definitely it's slowed right down. I think they've done a pretty damn good job to
rebuild,
be at where it is now. They just went hard, and obviously they changed printing company, from Wizards of the Coast and all that, and now they're going gangbusters. So I think they've done a good job at the evolutions and stuff, and the Pokemon 151, which just dropped, to bring all these old school people back into it, which has been really good, and a bunch of them have stuck through. And you hear a lot of people starting back into it at 2016 when Evolutions came back in. The XY era, which is awesome, and a lot of them are stuck around. So
they Pokemon are really good at that. I have noticed that. Like I actually went to Gameology last night, and there was a guy there, and he only just getting back into it now because of 151, right?
Yeah,
and he's an older bloke too, and they do a good job of like every few years. Okay, we'll throw out the celebrations. We'll throw out evolutions. We'll throw out they do and the 151. They do a good job of making sure that. We want the old people. We want the nostalgia to get back in. They're good at that. But I actually got to stop you. I got to go back to the Halo question. Halo. So, gaming in the 2000s, right? Were you an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy? I think you've already answered that with the Xbox.
Xbox all the way, mate.
Big time. I think Halo was like the game changer, eh?
Yeah, N64, obviously all GoldenEye and all of that. Obviously all that era as well. Banjo-Kazooie and Pokemon Stadium, and they were wicked. And then obviously straight from there to Xbox 360, and Halo and all of that song and dance, which is wicked. And yeah, I had a few mates into the PlayStation side of things. I've never got one. No, I've got PlayStation 1,
Yeah,
but never bought one.
that's yeah. I actually
And then
yeah
I was gonna say, and then PC after that. So
yeah. I think
I own a couple Xboxes somewhere, but yeah, it's all PC now.
yeah. I think once you get to the PC, you're just like, oh, this is just way easier than multiple
Yeah.
consoles. And because I remember I went from Xbox when the Xbox came out, I thought this was the best thing that's ever happened to me because Halo was the bomb, and then
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 4. On
Yeah.
because I love Tony Hawk. I've loved that series since day one. But the number 4 when it was on the Xbox, that was
Hmm.
the bomb. But 64. Speaking of Banjo Kazooie, I got really sick at the start of the year, and I was stuck in bed, and I ended up downloading Banjo Kazooie 64 on the Switch. Great game.
Yeah, yeah.
That game still holds up. That still holds
Yeah.
up. That is a great game. That and
So
Mario
good.
64. Mario 64, the controlling's a bit
Yes.
dodgy, and
Mario 64.
you're always falling off cliffs. Always in that game.
Oh, what,
Constantly
on the
falling.
Switch? Or
Yeah,
what do you mean in
the
in general?
64, the 64 game, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the 64 one has that weird controlling. I don't know why they put it in any game ever. Where if you hit a wall too hard, you bounce and fall down.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
grab if you can't grab it. It makes you fall off. I don't know any other game that does that except for Mario 64. It's the
But
dumbest
that game
mechanic.
was so good.
It's-
How good was it?
It's pretty good. Took me like 2-3 days to beat it. Like back in the day, that was like a 6-month ordeal. But
Oh, easy. I remember just playing it endlessly, collecting those stars, man.
Bad.
That was good.
that and Zelda. Did you play Zelda 64 back in the
Yeah.
day? Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time, sorry.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time. Yes, that was so good.
I'm waiting.
And Breath of the Wild now is mad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have time to play a game like that.
Yeah.
But that was next level. That was sick for nostalgia, going back into it.
Do you just play online now mainly, or do you
Yeah.
try and go back and play other full games, or just online?
Look, my time is so scarce.
Mm.
If I'm not editing and I've got 30 seconds to spare, generally a couple of the lads are on, and I'll literally just jump into whatever they're in. That might
Yeah.
be Warzone, that could be Call of Duty, multiplayer, that could be Power World, that could be anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I'll just jump on and just have a jam with them and a chinwag, and yeah, got no time for one-player games at all.
Yeah.
I just don't have it.
Same. Yeah. Same. I bought Far Cry 6, I think it was 6.
Yeah.
And I've played a whole of 25 minutes of it. And the new Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat games come out. I haven't even had a chance to play that. Like
Mhm.
actually the last time I played the game was literally when I was sick in bed for 2 weeks, and I played Banjo Kazooie, and all I did was play old 64 games on the Switch. I played Banjo Kazooie,
Worth
Pod
it.
Racer, and I was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't even use my brain to think. I can't even play like a first person anything. I need to just
Yeah.
run around collecting musical notes. Like,
Yeah, it's cool. Like the other likes of Swadsy playing like Red Dead Redemption. I mean, it's a single player game, but he's doing it live as a walkthrough thing, which is wicked as well. And I've jumped in Power World by myself, but it's been live, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit different. You're still interacting with the chat and you're interacting with the community a little bit. But yeah, in terms of just sitting there, not recording anything, and just having an hour to play a game by myself, don't have it.
doesn't happen.
And it doesn't excite me though as well. I want to be on with the lads, or and
It's
just
true,
having a chat.
It's
Yeah.
true. I actually tried to do the Twitch thing years ago where I wasn't playing online. I was playing. I can't even remember what it was, but it was me playing a single player game by myself, streaming it
Yeah.
on Twitch, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't enjoyable. It's not the same thing as if you're running
Yeah.
around with, like you say, with the lads shooting
Need
each
to
other,
squad together.
ripping on each other, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit more fast paced too, I guess. If you're playing something where you're like searching for crap, it's not really fun to watch. But
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you, so how come you decided to stream on YouTube as opposed to Twitch?
First thing, like, because I was watching a lot of YouTube, I honestly didn't even think about Twitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just watching tons of YouTube, Pokey Rev and Leonhardt and stuff, and I thought, yeah, let's just give YouTube a crack. And honestly, Twitch didn't even cross my mind.
even for the
At
gaming,
all.
even for the gaming side, like
Even for the gaming side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't even get the app for ages until, someone said that they were doing it on there. And I was like, oh, maybe I should check them out. There was a couple guys doing Pokemon on there and Pokemon Towers and live rips and stuff. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh. And I sort of jumped in then and made an account and checked them out then. But yeah, it just didn't cross my mind. It's just been YouTube. And YouTube's pretty big. It's pretty good. It's pretty smooth for the most part.
Yeah.
It hasn't missed a beat, so I don't have any inkling to change,
Yeah.
which
And
is fine.
yeah, so I've had mates jump on the Twitch thing, and then they'll swear
Yeah.
black and blue that Twitch is the be all end all. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, from what I've seen, I don't know, I could be wrong. Someone will probably rip me in the chat right now in the comments.
Fight me in the comments.
Yeah, fight me. I feel like Twitch is kind of on the way out. I feel like YouTube's done a really good job of. I know. Do you agree? I feel like YouTube's done a really good job of sort of grabbing that crowd. They've done a real good job of like going, hey, our platform is a streaming platform too. Like, because Twitch kind of came out, it's a gaming streaming platform, which is kind of why it blew up. And now YouTube's kind of like, well, we're all that and more.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I noticed someone else. Yeah, I noticed someone else coming across from Twitch to YouTube the other day, which was interesting. And I thought, gee, what's happening on Twitch? Is it just not going so hard anymore? I mean, you've done a bit of Twitch, hey? You've done some breaks on Twitch and gaming on Twitch.
I've done a bit of gaming on Twitch, and I've done a little bit of breaks on Twitch. Twitch is definitely, you've got to get people from that's the other problem too. Like you just said, like you only got a Twitch because you had other mates on it. Whether most people already have a YouTube account. This is how I always explain it to people. Like, I've got my missus and the 2 kids, yeah? They've all got YouTube on their iPads. They've all got YouTube on the TV. They've got YouTube on the phones, yeah? Not one of them has Twitch on anything.
Yeah, and so if they were to jump in and join you with something, you have to go through the whole process of getting, it's just easier to promote. I mean, everyone's going to have the YouTube app, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, and hopefully they'll stumble across you.
That's what I mean. I feel like it's easier. Twitch is not something you really kind of go on and just scroll through. YouTube's got a bit more like, you can get stuck in the YouTube algorithm for days, yeah? You can look up Pokemon, then you're watching a guy build a boat, then you're watching someone dig a hole, and then you're watching...
UFC highlights and gaming, and
100%,
it just gets... It's just a rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly. And you go... And like, that's... I feel like YouTube's heyday is kind of... Not over, but like, I feel like YouTube maybe 6-7 years ago was a little bit better. Like, it used to take you down weird rabbit holes. Now it kind of knows what you like. I don't like it as much. I feel like it used to be more random. When it used to take you down some weird stuff, and you don't even know you like this stuff until YouTube takes you there.
2 hours later, you've ended up watching something that you didn't realize you were into, and someone's building a house, a sandcastle, and living in it in survival mode, and you're like, hang on, what? What's this?
I'm watching a guy remove rust from an old wheel for like 40 minutes. I'm like, how does he do it? Like, it's like that's what it used to be, yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked bad at it. Yeah, so Twitch, the Twitch thing, because I feel like Twitch, like you said, I think Ninja and Mighty Mouse, another big Twitcher, they've both jumped ship now and gone to YouTube full time. I'm not sure what their reasons were. I think Ninja had some contract things or something. I can't remember, but it just seems that like that Twitch crowd is kind of, you're hearing less and less about Twitch now. YouTube's
I don't see it pop up anywhere for me. It doesn't get pushed on me for whatever reason. I just don't really have a need for it. But I mean, YouTube's working fine. The minute that YouTube doesn't, I guess everyone will start looking elsewhere. But
yeah, I don't think well, YouTube's also they've just done the live shorts as well now, which
that's cool. That's interesting.
I was saying that's the nail in the coffin of TikTok. I don't know how much. Do you use TikTok at all?
I've got one. I've started throwing a few random things up there, but I don't spend time on it and do anything with it. Like, I'll just jump in just because it's another way to, potentially capture an audience and drag them to my YouTube.
Yeah.
That I'll post up a few random shorts here and there, but I'm not on it scrolling and checking out pages and stuff. Yeah. It's just jump in, jump out sort of thing. But
it's another thing to steal your time and effort. Like, and a lot of it's between Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, like TikTok, you don't need all three. If you're over the age of 14, you don't need all three. Like, I feel like it's just for teenagers to scroll crap. That's how I look at it anyway. But that's
100%. My biggest, my YouTube takes my time. Instagram, we've got a pretty strong community on there now, especially the Aussie community, which is wicked. And so, catching up on that chat, that can go pretty crazy in the few chats there. And then Discord, obviously. I've started the Discord stuff now. So they're the three main things that steal most of my time if I've got 30 seconds up my sleeve. So
yeah. Well, you've done good at making that community, by the way. You've got a bunch of chats going on now. You've got the YouTube, the gaming, the general chats. Yeah. Like, you've done real good at just bringing the team together, and also given like other channels and Instagram pages like a place to promote their stuff, you know, because a lot of guys don't really know how to promote either. I feel like some people just don't know how to push. I don't know how, even half the time. So it's good to like have everyone have a place where they can go, hey, I'll throw it in this Discord, I'll throw it in this chat. And so you've done real good at setting all that up, mate.
Yeah, no, it's been good. And people are pretty open with it. You know, the Goodtimez Gaming Insta chat's nearly at 50 people. People come and go though, all the time. You know, it's completely different from when I first started it. You know, a few years ago. And all the OG people, you know, there's a handful left maybe, but there's a whole bunch of new people, and you see new Aussies especially pop up all the time, and I want to drag them in. You know, they haven't got much followers, and sort of try to give them a safe space in the community, because it can be pretty toxic out there if you get with the wrong crowd. But there's some good ones that some good places you can go. But so I started that, and then there's a lot of guys on YouTube that are that I network with that we wanted a safe space to chat and share the thumbnails and titles and analytics and stuff like that. So it's the safe space for that now too, which is good, and that's growing. Every day I'm putting new people into that community too. So it's just good. Discord's great for promoting yourself, but also helping promote others as well. Got the Discord for myself with hits of the week. A lot of people are sharing their own hits on there in the hits of the week little Discord channel, which is awesome. Awesome for me in terms of trying to find hits and collecting hits for the week, but also gives them a place to showcase their stuff. And a lot of they've clipped it themselves from their own live stream, and so they're able to promote their own live stream in there at the same time, which is good.
Have you thought about doing that like a Instagram page, like just a community? Sorry, I'm just burping. Instagram like hits of the week community page. Have you ever thought of doing something like that? Like, is that basically what you do in the Discord? Like the Discord's kind of that. Yeah, sort of that.
Discord's pretty big. So trying to get more involved with the Discord side of things at the moment, but it's probably not a bad idea. I can't really gauge Instagram. It's up, down, left, right. People are going, no, TikTok's blowing up, Instagram's out, and then all of a sudden you get an influx of ton of random people that you see on Instagram, and you're like, okay, well, I can't work it out. So Instagram's sort of just bubbling away with the core crew that we've got, and it's just a good chat forum, really, for chatting to your mates throughout the day. But Discord's more about that community promotion side of things, on a bigger scale. So that's good as well. I mean, obviously you can chat on Discord, but I sort of keep that to Instagram, really.
Yeah, I feel like Instagram
seems to work.
Yeah, Instagram's more easier for personal things. I find TikTok to be a bit more super community based, like not community, but like open, free.
Discord, you mean? Or...
No, TikTok and stuff. I feel like well, Discord's good for also like communities and building and chatting, and Discord I still think is a little bit more niche as well. With a TikTok, every single person over 12 years old has a TikTok, so it's not as it's terrible. Like, don't ever look at your kids' TikTok. It's a nightmare. You'll never want them to have social media again. Yeah, but Instagram's a bit more. I feel it's a bit more better for discussions and talking and getting involved, and like you say, the YouTube chat you got going on is my favorite, because it is good to hear from other people. Doing kind of the same thing as what you're doing, but also going through the same struggles as what you're doing too. Yeah, that's the one thing I like, because sometimes you do feel like, I don't know about you, but I go talk to my problems about YouTube to my missus, and she couldn't care less. She's like, that sounds like a you problem, mate. Like, I don't know why you sit in front of your computer for more than 50 minutes. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, I'm trying to get the lighting right. It doesn't work. My face is too bright. Like, Yeah.
So I was talking to my missus the other day. I was like, I think I'm shadow banned. I'm over at YouTube. And she was like, whatever, just post another video. I was like, you're not
I've spent 3 years working at this, 4 years working at this.
But no, it's good to bounce ideas and stuff off the YouTube crew, which is good.
I find it motivating, honestly, because sometimes I'll be like, well, hang on a minute, like, even when it's shouldn't be motivating, like, if that makes sense. Like, if it's sometimes I'll be like, well, hang on a minute, how come this guy's just come here and he's got more watch hours than me? But then it's more like, well, actually, no, instead of what's he doing right necessarily, what am I doing wrong as well? Like, how can I... Okay, cool, maybe I do need
It's just so many people to learn off of, hey?
Everyone's so different too. Like, all these channels are so different, because sometimes I get... Well, I was actually going to ask you this as well. Like, sometimes I feel like it gets a bit oversaturated. It is hard to kind of like break away, I feel. Sometimes it's, But
Well,
it's
that's you got to be unique. I mean, you can't just sit there and open packs. I don't think anymore.
yep,
People will click on and they'll click. Like, you could have the best thumbnail in the world and the best title and get the click, but if you don't capture them in the first 10 seconds and like, oh, this guy's just opening another box of random rubbish, then you're out. You're done. Unless you're wealthy as and you can open up mountains of old stuff and people are interested to see that and sit through it. You could be pretty boring, but they want to see the packs, so that
yeah,
holds them. But if you're just opening modern stuff and you're not very interesting, then people are going to click away. But because it's everywhere, man. It is heavily saturated, I think.
it's
There's a lot of people have left because of it.
mm,
But yeah, there's a lot of people opening just random packs. Even a ton of rip and ships, live rip and ships now. But then you've got the likes of Pokevolt that are doing it uniquely and
yeah,
can keep the audience engaged. And he does his dance and the green
yeah.
screen and stuff like that. And then you got the likes of Woody. Woody's
Oh, Woody's
super
grouse.
entertaining to watch. He's a crack up. He's got tons of little green screen things that he does as well, and his energy's next level. So, but if you don't have that, you're just on the bottom with the rest of everyone trying to make your way in it, and it's very tough. I'm thankful that I've got a bit of a unique niche with what I'm doing with hits of the week, which sets me apart a little bit. It's probably super niche though, and probably why it hasn't grown more than it has. But at least it's got a really core audience that keep coming back, which is good.
Well, that's a big thing too. It's having the ones who keep coming back, and like over
Yeah.
time that does grow, and like with the business model of hits of the week, it is something that you can expand on and like
Mm.
keep growing. And you did have a. Am I allowed to say you had like a bit of a strike the other day though, didn't you? Like, am I allowed to say that?
No, I didn't. It wasn't a strike. It was just a copyright claim. It was said, hey, you know um this what is it? I played a meme for too long,
Oh,
and
okay.
Warner Brothers got a bit upset with it, but that's all good. I cut it out and whatever. But then because I did my 10-hour hits of the week video as well and had a copyright on that, which I can't edit out because it's a video over 6 hours.
Okay.
You can't trim it out. And that was just a song or something that I had playing on one of my episodes. And yeah, so I thought, hey, I've been copyrighted a couple of times here. I've potentially been shadow banned, and then my shorts were getting 6K views, and they dropped like to 10, which I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like it was like the tap turned off on everything, which is crazy. I've never seen it, and so explored the option that I'm potentially shadow banned, but yeah, everything came back that it was fine, and
Yeah.
it's just my turn out of the algorithm, and it will just circle back through. So, look, obviously, you get a bit bummed with it, but I'm not going to let that rule me. At the same time, my last video that I dropped, barely didn't get pushed to anyone new,
Yeah.
and 90% of the views came out of my subscribers,
Okay.
which was cool that all my subscribers love, and that core audience keeps coming back. But at the same time, I was like, algorithm.
Yeah.
It didn't get picked up for whatever reason. Changed the title a couple of times, changed the thumbnail. It just didn't get in front of anyone new. Impressions were good. It just, it just struggled for some reason to take off. And yeah, it's just my turn out of the algorithm, I say, and just keep posting content and be back in it.
The old YouTube algorithm is a fickle mistress, eh? Like I know you're a big techie guy and that, eh?
100%.
You're all into stats and analytics and learning all that. I
Yeah, yeah,
try to avoid it, and then I complain when it's not working for me as well. Like I'm that guy, yeah. I'm like
yeah,
same thing. I'm like, oh come on, why is this? That thumbnail's hilarious, but if the content's not great and you're not doing the right things,
yeah.
it's not really
Nah,
going to go anywhere, eh?
yeah, I definitely look into it because it gives you good information about what demographic you can cater towards, and if I'm opening packs and trying to cater towards children, but children they don't catch my content. It's all
Mm,
with the memes and stuff. I have all old school video, movie memes and stuff like that in my
yeah,
my videos. So, uh, you know, I'm using that to cater towards my core audience, which is 25 to 40-year-olds. And that's what reading my analytics has taught me, that that's who watches my content. And so I'm like, sweet, I'm just going to tap into that and keep my audience happy, and keep pulling, like my Matrix video. Anyone older, anyone younger than us, probably not
Yeah,
interested in it.
it's probably true.
So
Yeah.
I purely made that for my core audience. Because they would get it and they'd love the most people love the Matrix. It was massive in our time.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought the Matrix video out.
Do you find that hard? Because I've struggled with this as well, where essentially we are promoting what is a kids game, but we're adults. You're in your 30s as well, yeah? We're in our 30s. We're promoting a kids
30,
game.
yeah.
Yeah. So
35.
So some's a little bit older than you. So you're promoting a kids game, but you're an adult and you're adults watching. Is it weird?
Yeah.
Is it hard? Do you make a video?
It's only weird, Jolie, when you bring it to light like you're doing now.
My bad. I've taken the veil up. No, like, do you go to your first videos, especially when you started doing them with your daughter and your kids?
Yep.
Like, you were essentially making them for kids, I would say.
Yeah. And I was getting her cousins involved and stuff as well,
Yeah.
and they were going to school and promoting my channel to the mums, and I did aim for that, to go down that, because essentially it's a kids game. Kids love it. They still play the TCG. They trade at school and stuff, where we all started. And then when the transition of the channel happened, we were moving country. We planned that, and obviously had to curb the spending side of things. I just had to change. I had to flip the coin and change. And my daughter still asked to jump on every now and then, and I'll pop her into the live streams and rip a couple of packs, and I'll just rip packs with her off to the side, not on camera, and to keep her still engaged with it. All my kids love Pokemon, which is great.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it's just grown away from doing it for the kids, but I had to do that because it was costing me 3 arms and a leg, and we were moving country, and I've got 3 kids, and it was out of control.
I was going to ask you about that, because like going back to kind of what you said before, how you can't just rip packs for pack's sake. I think that goes double down. I don't think the average person can do that anyway and survive, right? Like, no. I feel I'm at the point now where I sort of felt it a few months back, where I was like,
you make me sick, bro. You'll sit there and just rip 4 booster boxes. Like, hey, chat, should I do another one?
Yeah, and it's Swansea, okay? It's Swansea 100% of the time. Yeah, it's Swansea goes, yeah, man, just rip another box, you'll be right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, there's another $150.
Hey, you only need one person to say yes, and you're like, yep, cool.
Bad. I'm that bad.
And you're
I could make 10 streams out of what I open in like 3 nights and 3 streams.
It's a crack up.
But I am trying to like cut down on that, because A, the spending, and B, like you said before, it is kind of oversaturated. Like, even I feel sometimes opening packs for pack's sake, because where I'm at now is like, I'm kind of stopped collecting for a bit now. I'm not really collecting. I've got certain things I collect, but I'm not collecting sets. Yeah. So opening boxes of cards kind of is sort of getting pointless. Obviously I resell, and that's kind of where you get your money back. But like, it is a financially hard.
You need to do that. That's good that you do that. That's wicked. And a lot of people are starting to do that. And I used to do a little bit early on when I was ripping a bunch, but if you don't do that, you're even worse off.
Yeah,
like,
you can't just
definitely gonna drown.
It is a hard. My mate pointed this out to me. It is a hard. Pokemon's a really Pokemon YouTube is real hard. It's a hard thing to do, right? So he's used the example, if you want to teach basketball skills, you just take your basketball to the ring down the road and you throw the basketball, set up your camera, and that's your channel, yeah?
Yeah.
Pokemon, like, obviously now that's the good thing about hits of the week, is obviously it's very time consuming, I'm assuming, with the editing.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Bad, eh? Like, I've only done minimal editing.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
But like, out of pocket, like, it's... It's
it's the good with the bad. The thing with Pokemon and opening cards is that it's funny. People want to see the hits, right?
Yeah.
If you're not, and it comes back to not having. If you don't have a great personality, well, what are they going to do? They're going to watch it on 2 times speed, or they're just going to skip straight to the end where people do a recap and see what hits they got. And like, because I watch heaps of YouTube, obviously, for hits of the week.
Yeah.
And or you just hold down the bar and you slide it across and you wait till they either react or they have it, a big wow moment, and then obviously you go back a little bit and you watch it from there. that's the thing about opening packs, is that unless you're really excitable all the way through, people are just going to skip your videos, and you do like a 15-minute video and get like
Yeah.
2 minutes of what, people stuck around for 2 minutes total, and it can be frustrating.
It is, yeah, it is
But that's
hard.
the niche we're in, man.
It's true, and I think that's another big reason why I think you're seeing more live Pokemon now. I feel like live Pokemon
people can't
channels,
skip it. Yeah,
they can't skip it, but also the ones that are good live are obviously engaging. They chat, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like you've seen fun chats, you've seen boring lives. We all have, yeah, right. But there's, with a normal video, even if the person's kind of exciting, like I'll be honest, if I'm watching Pokevolt, he's my favorite guy. I think he's a 10 out of 10 YouTuber. I still do the same
100%.
thing. When he does his just pack openings, I kind of do just skip through. But if he's doing like a day in the life, or if he's doing something different, where he's going
obviously
to
that's enjoyable,
a yard sale, this is different. This is like, oh, I want to see the story. There's no story to opening cards. I guess that's the...
Yeah. Or there's barely none, yeah. Unless you come up with something on the fly. But, you're very entertaining to watch. I want you to go live more. And when you're live, I want you to slow down, because you're so entertaining to watch and talk to, and you go off on your tangents. I just have to write Walking Dead in your chat, and that's it for 10 minutes. I can just sit back.
But that's
talking about it.
That's the fun thing, I think, as well, with lives too. Like when you're sitting there in a room with just you and your camera, and you're like, "Hey guys, welcome back to my channel." That's hard. That's really hard to do. Like I can't act. Acting's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like to sit there and like you said, read a script and try and say it out loud, like that's impossible. Yeah. Like I think that's hard. When you're live,
it's tough.
People can hang it on you. People can, like you say, trigger. Someone just says Walking Dead, and then you're like, oh, God, that's a thing. Someone mentions maths or Leonhard or something, and you can just go. You go off on a tangent, and then you don't even, like we said before, you don't even realize it's a thing until they bring it up again. And you're like, hang on a minute, why is someone bringing up The Walking Dead again? Like, I already forgot. Like, I'm not even joking. I think it was like the second time someone brought up The Walking Dead or maths. I was like, even the Shooey. The Shooey something from the chat, yeah?
Yeah.
That's someone threw that in the chat.
Do a Shooey. Someone said do a Shooey or something. You're like, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Whatever. Did it. And then and it becomes a thing. And I'm like, I don't even like, that's not a thing I thought. That's the chat did that. Like.
And then you've got mods like yours truly that make exclamation mark Shooey.
Yeah.
So people just throw it in,
and that's it. And it becomes this, and like it becomes just this community, this weird thing that you're like, I didn't even think of that. But if I was just to sit at home and keep, opening packs to a camera, not going live, none of that happens.
Yeah, that's right.
None of any of that. Like, so the live becomes
imagine you're just doing a normal pack opening, you pull a good card, and you just not in the live, and you just have a Shooey.
Smack a Shooey for no reason. Yeah.
People be like,
why?
What?
Yeah, it wouldn't even make sense, eh? Like, it'd be like, but why? Why? Like, but yeah, that's great. But that's it. That's where I think like the Pokemon community is like the strongest, and where it's going is the live. Like, I think I don't even really watch a lot of long form at the moment now. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because I really want to. But it's a time thing as well. Like you say, like time, families. Like didn't even go live last night because I got too much like stuff happening at home. Mrs. is going away on a holiday. Like, I got to look up some kids and stuff. Like, it's too much happening. But yeah, like it's finding time to watch other people's content is hard. But for some reason, if it's a live, you can sit there at your computer, like hanging out,
you just have
sorting cards, editing. You film. It's a lot easier.
I've always do a lot of editing, so I'll just always have it on my side screen, and you just keep an eye on it when they get a good hit or something, or I notice someone's chatting in the says something in the chat, then I'll jump in for a bit, and then I'll tune it in, just have it rolling. It's wicked. It's good.
Just have SHOOOOSH already like pre-written at the bottom. Just press enter, just so you're doing your editing.
Control V.
Yeah. Pretend you're there.
Copy paste.
Bang. I actually wanted to ask you. Actually, I was going to ask, how much effort do you put into Hitch the Wheats? Like, how much editing do you do? I know you say you don't want to talk about it, but I actually did have that as a question because I want to know how much.
It makes me sick. Depending on what the story is, because I do, as much as it's just showcasing hits, right? I definitely try to have some sort of story. And I think that's important to capture the audience a little bit as well. I think my storytelling could be a lot better. It is somewhat difficult because you're at the beck and call of the cards and what hits have happened this week. So I come up with a story relatively late. I wish I came up with it a little bit earlier so I could sort of collect memes and stuff throughout and the hits. But very difficult. That Matrix episode took me so long.
There was like a lot in that one, eh? It was a lot.
I was also transitioning to learn Premiere Pro at the time.
Yeah, nice.
I love Premiere Pro. Awesome. It's working well, and I've got a couple people in my corner to help me out with that. If I get stuck through the... Am I freezing?
Oh, you glitched a little bit, but you're back on. I think you're back now.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you sound good. It sounds fine.
Yeah, sweet. So yeah, that episode alone, I don't want to add up how long that took. I'm talking like over 20 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I reckon. Like, and that's so, let's just say 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's a day worth of editing. Like, I might get on the laptop at 7 and all of a sudden it's 12:01 in the morning. Yeah. And then rinse and repeat like for a few days in a row. Then I've got to record my reaction after it's edited, and I've collected, well, including like, I look up the PSA pop reports and the last sold prices and stuff, because I want to be able to give you guys information throughout and be like, wow, it's a wicked pull, but is it popular, or how much does it cost if I were to buy one or whatever. So I try to provide that information as well, and that takes time. I got to look them all up. I got to look up PSA pop reports and stuff. So that could take a couple of hours depending on what cards are pulled.
Plus, so everyone's details, like
got to add in the details, all the text, sound effects, all of that stuff. It transitions. I edit pretty much the whole thing, and then I record my reaction to it, and then edit that in, and then put music, and it's a full thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've written a schedule, and Monday I'll collect all the hits. Tuesday I'll do the thumbnail and the title, because I can't do thumbnail and title before I get the hits, because I don't know what I don't know what hits are out there. And so it's all a little bit backwards. And then I'll edit Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, film myself on Friday, edit it in Friday night, and if all going to plan, which it never does, then I can post it as a premiere Friday night or Saturday morning to then premiere on the Sunday. It's a full week. It's crazy.
That sounds like a nightmare. You can see why people are like pay people, like the bigger guys, they just get to the point pay them, like someone else do it.
Yeah. I mean, how much is your time worth? I mean, I've learned so much in terms of editing. Which is great. I love editing and multimedia and stuff like that. I did a little bit in school, and I get a kick out of that and trying to better myself with editing. It's just that you have family and life gets in the way. If that I didn't have so many commitments because the kids are so young, then I'd edit all day. I don't care. I'd edit other people's. I like it that much. I enjoy it, but it just takes so long.
It is the time factor, eh? Like, it is like everything, like having to learn like from Streamlabs to OBS and learning that. And it is just a time thing. Editing's the one thing I'm very slack at. Like, I have edited before. How much
are you going to edit this?
I'm going to just literally edit the first 30 seconds off it and then just like throw it up. That's what's going to happen.
Sweet.
No, it's too hard. Editing's I do enjoy it though. You're right. Like if I'm not tired from work and I'm sitting in bed, I'll be like editing I'll sit at the computer for a few hours figuring something out, or how do I make this better? How do I adjust this? Like, I enjoy all that. It is fun learning I always say this, that the behind the scenes stuff is always the fun stuff. Yeah. Like setting up the computer, setting up the lights, the background, it's all fun. Then when you actually got to go do the work, I'm like, I don't
and it all breaks. Especially do live streams. You click, everything's good. You click the live and the whole thing breaks.
Oh, bad. Oh, I've had so many
without fail every time.
I've had so many problems with my card camera recently, which I finally got Geeks to You to come out and help me, and apparently it's my phone's busted and
oh really?
Yeah, I gotta take it back to Apple. Yeah, it's not transferring data between the PC.
Oh man.
It's a nightmare. So there's always something new. There's always something new you didn't even think could go wrong until it goes wrong.
Yeah. Definitely. So what's your, I mean, I don't know if you're going to bring this out somewhere else or announce or have a separate video, but what's your plan with the podcast? Obviously this is the first time. You're going to do round tables in the future. You're going
Hadn't even
to
thought
get
of it.
other collectors, other gamers. He's
def-
just literally turned the camera. Hey, good times, pop in. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Okay, yeah, sweet. No
We're
worries.
just gonna have a chat. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. I've written like a list of things I'm gonna say. I haven't said many of. Oh, we've answered most things. So I've actually answered most things. But no, I definitely want to. I wanted to do this years ago. Years ago. I actually tried to start a podcast with a mate years ago, and it just didn't work out. Just you don't. Sometimes you think you're really good mates. We were really good mates. We are, but like personality talking, we weren't on the same page for having a podcast together. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But this is, I kind of want to, same sort of thing as what you're doing, right? I want to promote the community, build the community, find out about, because, there's one thing when you're sitting there listening to someone do a live stream or listening to their video, but you didn't get to talk. Like I'm one of those guys. I want to know, how'd you get here? Why'd you do it? what's your decision? Like, what's even your just opinion on these things, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of
Jay's
characters.
Corner TCG interviewed, the likes of Pokestock before, and I haven't seen him in a podcast, and it was awesome to hear his background, and I dig all that stuff. So I think what you're doing is wicked. There's definitely more room, I think, for the podcast side of things, especially in our niche, and you could sort of incorporate the gaming stuff into that as well. It's awesome, and you can definitely, like you said, grow the community that way too at the same time.
And that's what you kind of want to do too, because like I think a lot of people too, they also get stuck, like I said before, like you don't really know how to promote yourself. Like you can only throw up so many Instagram posts before you're like, there's got to be something else. I can get involved in the lives. There's always something else. So you just want to, I don't know, I feel like it's good to have a place where someone can just talk, chat, tell us, like, talk.
That's good. Good.
That's about as far as my plan went, eh?
Well, you plan to not do it live, which is interesting as well. A lot of people get distracted with the live chat and things like that. So this is good. It's just one-on-one. And it's different at the same time as well. So that's good.
I'm not against people doing the live chat thing live. I just think it is distracting. I found it distracting. I think this is just my opinion, when you listen back to it, it sounds a bit more cleaner when people aren't just getting sidetracked by someone writing something in a comment. Like, that makes sense. When it's just like, and like you heard how much I lost my train of thought right at the start, Like, imagine if I had people like butting in, I
trying to chat to you.
Like, what was the last thing you just said, bro? I can't remember.
Yeah, for sure. But you got a few channels now, eh? So are you going to keep this as part of your Pokemon channel?
Yes, I want to keep this as the Jolly Chamber. That was that's actually something I wanted to say to you as well. Your name, Goodtimez Gaming. It was. I don't know how you came up with it. Do you want to tell us how you came up with that name quickly, and I'll just say what I was about to say.
Sure. My last name is Goodfellow. Oh, nice. So Good Times was my nickname in footy. And all the lads used to have a good time with Good Times.
Yeah, bet I did.
That's sort of where that came from. And the gaming, obviously, it started gaming. Yeah. So Good Times Gaming, and the Good Times with an S was taken, so I had to use the Z. But that's fine. And it sort of stemmed from there. And then when it became Pokemon, I incorporated that into my logo and my banner and stuff like that as well. So it's still got the Xbox controller. So and the Pikachu holding that. It's changed a couple of times, but it's relatively straightforward. And hopefully people looking at that will go, oh, Pokemon and gaming, right? Goodtimez Gaming. Okay, sweet. I actually asked the community, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, about whether I should change my name because I wanted to start putting gaming back into it, or do I make a separate channel for my gaming and change the name on this one to something more Pokemon related, and keep them separate? And everyone there was overwhelming consensus just to keep it all together. Yeah. And if I was to incorporate gaming later, which I've done now, it obviously will fit in, and so I've just kept the name.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like with a name like Goodtimez Gaming, it works on both levels. Like Pokemon's still gaming; it's all gaming still, and you can still have both those under the one banner. That was kind of one of the reasons why I just wanted to keep my name as my channel, sort of thing. So if I did something like this, for example,
nice.
I can do a podcast on it. I can do, like I can still open packs. I can do gaming as well. I can do whatever. Like I don't have to be poker Joel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like that was.
And then all of a sudden you're going to podcasts, and people are like, "What? Hey?"
And then
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, then I got to start another channel because like I know why people start multiple channels. They keep stuff separate, and then obviously
Yeah.
when you're a bit bigger, the revenue streams and all that. But I think at smaller levels, until you're really, really blowing up, is when you want to start making multiple channels. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. A lot of people do it. They kind of wait till they're actually, oh wait, no, this is like really blown up. Like,
Yeah. Well, Jay's Corner TCG, he was doing both of them, and then he stopped and had his own podcast channel for what seemed like a few episodes, a handful, probably maybe 10, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. And then now he's pulled it back in. When I was on his podcast, that was the first one back when he joined it back together.
okay, yeah.
And he just felt like it just wasn't right. He wanted to bring it back to his Pokemon card opening sort of stuff, and he was interviewing Pokemon people anyway, so
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't too much out of the realm. But yeah, now with YouTube though, you can create a podcast playlist.
Yes.
So
yeah.
you know, it doesn't really get mixed up into all your other lives and stuff. You can actually segregate it out to just a podcast, which is cool.
Yeah.
Kudos.
YouTube took way too long to do that as well. With do you remember when they did shorts, and for like way too long the shorts was still in the feed? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like about
Yeah.
until like 8 months, 10 months ago, 12 months ago, maybe it was a year now. But yeah, I remember that was a nightmare. You'd be scrolling through someone's thing, it'd be like 50 shorts and then like a video, and you're like, oh come on, YouTube,
and then they
separate
finally
them. Like, and they're like, oh, we'll separate it now. It's like, yeah, no joke. Why didn't you? That was like, listen, YouTube, I love you.
When it gets
seriously,
launched,
day one of that
it.
idea should have been like done.
Yeah.
Like,
how should we launch it? In a separate column.
Yeah, in a separate column.
Probably
Nah, mix them all together. This won't be a problem. Like,
mash it up.
but in saying that, that's how, like, you know, that's how the YouTube, like, that's when the shorts blew up and became a big thing, and you know, I started milking it. Like
6K Jolie was born.
Oh, bad, eh? Yeah, but like I've told people this 1,000 times. Like, you know, I would look at my channel as someone who has like maybe like 1,000 subscribers. I reckon it's probably 5,000 worth of. I was like junk subscribers. That sounds mean. But yeah, 5,000 worth of like. I was scrolling through
non-dedicated subscribers, non-dedicated viewers.
I have noticed though, since it's slowed down, since it stopped, since YouTube obviously, like you said before, the algorithm corrects itself and it just stopped. I get a lot of less messages from random people now. So there's a lot of like, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because I feel like I was getting like a lot of comments from randoms, and they all sort of stopped too. I'm like, okay, so I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing, because if people were still listening, I don't know.
Still interacting, yeah.
Listen, I know, like I said, I'm not an analytics guy. I don't really follow it too much.
Yeah, I think it's just separate audiences. I think it's really separate audiences. You could have an audience that is purely shorts, right? And they're the quick scrollers, and that's what they like. And you got to cater to them and bring them in and please them, and they can be part of the community as well, for sure. There's definitely a live community. Yeah, people just go live. They barely watch any long form. Then you've got just the long form. People just want to throw a video up and have a watch, and not feel obliged to interact in chats and whatever. And then I think there's not really a crossover from shorts to the other two.
I don't think
there is a small crossover, I think, from long form to lives though.
Yes, I think.
But definitely shorts is just, I feel like its own column.
Yeah, and I feel that's the same way, because obviously TikTok is all shorts essentially, right? Like it just is. You know, but getting people from TikTok to getting people from Instagram to YouTube is a lot easier than getting people from TikTok to YouTube, I found.
Yeah.
Like Instagram, you can talk with people, make, like you say, communities. You can getting people from Instagram and like sharing your YouTube to Instagram's fairly simple. Like, but getting that jump from TikTok, I have found no jump, and I had more TikToks. I blew up quicker on, not blew up like I'm a big thing, but I got more faster rising subscribers on followers on TikTok than I did on YouTube. Oh, sorry, on Instagram.
On Insta,
but there's no, like, the Instagram people are definitely the ones coming to the YouTube. The TikTokers aren't.
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't tell you any of them.
I originally built my Instagram to help with my YouTube. I think I had YouTube first. And then really? I really decided to push into Instagram. Like, if you go back to my early posts on Instagram, they're all gaming related. So I
Okay.
used, because I was gaming on YouTube, I sort of was trying to bring the community together on that,
Yeah.
and then was able to post up, the cards that I pulled with my daughter and stuff on Instagram, and I was like, hey, check out the reaction. I'm trying to pull people over from there, and I feel like it was a lot easier than the whole TikTok thing.
Yeah. TikTok's its own thing. Like, I know maybe it's because, like, I hate to say it, I might be old. I might be too old for TikTok, but I don't get it. Like, I do get it. I get it completely. I think it's stupid. But I'm not like in it enough. I guess it's like everything. If you're in the Instagram community or you're in the YouTube
Yeah,
community, you kind of put the effort in, right? Because I don't really feel like
yeah,
I'm in the TikTok community. It's like I'm not really putting the effort in. I guess if I put the effort in, like I said, my TikTok I put no effort into, and I had more followers on that than I did Instagram.
Insta, yeah,
So
yeah.
obviously the algorithms. I've said this before. I think that the TikTok algorithm is actually pretty good. Like I think it spreads better than
Yeah, well,
Instagram.
I've posted stuff on TikTok, and I've gotten like reels on TikTok and on Insta, and they'll get double the amount on TikTok
Yeah,
than they will. But I mean, I think you got a better core audience on the on
Insta.
Instagram, people you can
Older crowd
communicate with
maybe.
better.
Older crowd. Like
Mm,
TikTok's still a
yeah,
younger
maybe.
crowd. The Instagram,
Yeah,
the 19, 20-year-old Insta hoes of 2012. They're all now in their 30s now. They all got
yeah,
kids and families.
that's it.
They're not
That's
they're
it.
not taking photos of their steering wheel of their Jeep anymore. No offense to
Yeah,
all you early 2012 Instagram hoes, okay? Sorry. It was a good time. It was a great time in the
great time,
mid 2000s.
great era.
Oh god, the early Instagram. God, I
Uh,
miss it. I miss it bad. Um what was I gonna say? I forgot. Lost my train of thought again. Instagram's terrible. TikTok's terrible. YouTube's a nightmare.
we're speaking about gaming, Pokemon. What else do
Pokemon
you want to know?
gaming. I don't know. Well, what do you collect? I actually haven't asked you that. Are you not collecting sets, eh? Because I've seen you've collecting
Nah,
packs,
nah.
don't you? You collect the packs in the binder. Art
Yeah,
sets, yeah.
so a few things. I don't collect for like master sets so much anymore. I've done a few. I've got a few. I think the last one I actually completed was Brilliant Stars.
Yeah.
I've nearly finished Chilling Reign. Just got to buy a couple more, and then like I've got Evolutions and stuff like that. But I don't. I'm obviously working on Unbroken Bonds, and most of my binder is all cards we've pulled. I haven't bought many Unbroken Bonds at all.
Oh damn.
But I'll crack a few more, even though the boxes
That's
are
pricey.
stupidly
I was gonna
expensive.
say. What are they now?
But
500?
8, keep
8.
going.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, they're mad. So I'll crack a couple more of those just because I love the set. I'll do that. I've got a few of them sealed, and then yeah, I'll buy the rest of that. So that'll be the last sort of master set that I think I'll go for. And then unless like I nearly pulled the trigger on Paradox Rift just because I loved a lot of the
It's
cards.
a good set.
But I just decided I'll just get the ones that I want.
Mm.
But I've transitioned more into sealed stuff. So mainly ETBs, sealed ETBs. I've got a big collection of sealed ETBs, and I got some booster boxes just of sets that I like, UPCs and stuff like that. But yeah, the sealed booster packs I've got a couple that I need to put into a binder soon. But yeah, sealed booster pack artwork. So that I've started. I don't know how that started. I
That's
think
a
I got a
cool.
couple.
That's a
I
cool one to
got
collect,
gifted
hey?
a bunch, and then yeah, I was just like, hey, I'll just put these in. I don't know what's in them. I might want to open them in 20 years, and they could be heavies, they could be lights.
Yeah.
Who cares? But so I tried to get like if someone's doing a rip and a box break, and they're willing to do some sealed, I'll get some out of that.
Yeah.
So I won't know what's in it. Whereas you can trust them more. They're not weighed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that it's a bit of a mystery. But yeah, I've got two big binders full of art sets. Some jungle and some older stuff, but mainly the modern sort of sword and shield stuff.
Yeah.
Dragon Majesty and stuff as that as well. What's it called? Generations and that, which is pretty cool. Tag team and all that. I really want to rip it all. I'm
Yeah.
going to get the itch one day and just open the binder and just pull
Wait.
out all the packs.
Give it like
Uh,
5-10 years, man. Like,
yeah,
wait
can
till
you
the
imagine?
channel's built up and blown up, and then just
Be
like,
so good.
oh,
Be so good.
I know,
Be
right?
so much fun.
You watch like Rev and that open up these boxes that are like $3,000 each, $5,000 each. Someone just like, man,
Damn.
what the hell?
Damn.
Like, obviously he does when he does those ones. A lot of the time they're the ones that people pay into. Because I'm like, that's But even still, I've seen him rip like $2,000 boxes just for a video. I'm like, what are you doing, mate?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that I collect those, but I like I haven't got sealed gaming like Game Boy collection, but I can see them up there. I've got they're opened, but I collect games, Game Boy games and stuff as well.
Games are
So
a fun one.
yeah, bit of a mixed bag. I did get a few Funko Pops, but
don't even start me on Funko
makes
Pops,
me
bro.
sick because they're so big, bro. They're so big.
They're a mess. Like
They're so that you can't store. You buy 4 and you need to buy another shelf.
When we were moving house, I'm not making this up. We had 5 boxes just with Funko Pops. My missus was pissed off. Yeah, like filled half the car, and there was just Funko Pops. She's like, what are you doing with these? Like, because at my old setup, like I had on each shelf, I had 6 behind. You get what I have now, but I had another 6 Funko Pops behind each of them that I had, and then I had the top of this shelf is like they're 3 high and they're 2 deep. So it's like it's 3 high, and that goes 2 deep. And then in my bedroom now, I've started another shelf. I got about 30 in there, and then down. I
saw you got the Umbreon recently as well.
Both of them, mate.
Flocked and normal.
Just because you brought it up, just to show it off. Double got both of them, mate. See?
Yeah.
But
they'd be selling like hotcakes, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, they sold out of EB Games.
Yeah.
Sorry, they sold out of EB Games, and then I got them from Gameology, and they said they still had 100 and something in stock. So maybe I shouldn't say that out loud maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud, because maybe I could be like casing up. But I actually went there and they had a chase in stock for like $24. It goes for $80.
Yeah, that's so good.
But it's Funko Pops are another. Collecting's a weird thing, right? Like I started doing the game thing as well, like sort of on the side, like. Because games are fun to kind of find, because they're harder to find, especially like, I don't know what you collect, but I'm into like Sega and SNES games. So specifically, I've been trying to collect all of the Mortal Kombats, like the originals. So I've got most.
I'm mainly into just the Pokemon Game Boys.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. They're expensive, though. They're hard to find.
Yeah.
Even the ones that aren't sealed.
Adam P sold me 5.
Really?
4 or 5. Yeah, he was narrowing his collection down, and he's wearing decent nick. So I bought them off him. So I've got 2 Pokemon golds.
That's rad.
As well. One was from him. That was pretty sick.
Oh, shout out to Adam P. Next time you're selling Game Boy games, bro.
Hit us up. He's got like Pokemon pinball and stuff left. I didn't bring myself to buy that, but
I want to get the 64. I want to get like. But you look at the sealed ones of 64, like Pokemon Snap and all that, Pokemon Stadium, like it's so I can't even pretend like I'm ever going to own it. You know what I mean? Like that's because I was looking at Mortal Kombat games I want to get all sealed. I've got most of them not sealed. I've got some pretty good nick ones, because even just like the SNES games especially, they're hard to get and 64 because I had the old cardboard things, and like they used to sit in the bottom of the drawer, get crushed, most people threw them out, man. That's why there's so many like loose cartridges, because the cartridges were unbreakable, like back in the day,
the boxes, everyone would just burn.
And then they obviously made everything CDs, so CDs had to have the plastic case, so more people kept the cases, so they didn't get the CDs wrecked. So finding like old SNES and 64 games like sealed is like hard, especially now. Did you
used to have a Sega Saturn?
No, I actually was thinking about Sega Saturn this morning. That's really funny you said that. I was actually like, I was having a shave today, and I was actually thinking about, wonder what happened to the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. They kind of just didn't.
Yeah, Dreamcast I wasn't so much into. Sega Saturn was sick.
Sega Saturn was all right, but I think it was one of those. They jumped the gun too early, because what was that in between? That was Sega Mega Drive, the Sega CD, and then the Saturn. But it was then the 60. I think it came out just before the 64. I want to say
definitely, bro. I think before 64 for sure.
And I think 64 kind of just like took everything, and then at the same time, PlayStation 1, I think as well. So it was like, I think it was one of those. Its competition, I think, was more so Sony and the Sega Saturn. And then I think they tried to double down.
It was disc as well, so it was. Yeah. It was definitely in that era with the Dreamcast and the PS1 and the.
Because the Mega Drive had the disc add-on. Do you remember that one? The Mega Drive 2 had the disc attachment.
Oh, really? No,
yeah, it's pretty. So my uncle had it. So I wonder if he still got it. I should be like trying to hit him up, eh? So he had it. When we were kids, because we used to go to his house, because we all had Mega Drives. But he had the attachment, and it was like the coolest thing ever. Where it was the Sega add-on, but I don't think there's many games you can get for it, to be honest, because then it jumped to the Saturn.
Yeah.
And then Dreamcast, I think, was like the icing on the, like, was just the nail in the coffin, I think, because Dreamcast, I think, was the first one that had plugged into the internet, but it was like mid-90s when, like, who had the internet? And people who had the internet were playing on PC. It was kind of like too ahead of its time, you know what I mean? Like, they kind of... Yeah. And then, like I said, people still had the 64, just kind of like... I don't know. I just remember everyone having a 64, yeah? Like,
yeah, it was just the greatest.
GoldenEye. Like you said, GoldenEye. Like, sleepovers at your mate's house. Like, I can still see it. Like, you know,
playing Facility.
Facility, yeah. Like, and then one guy would be the, like, Odd Job. Was it Odd Job? On the knees and you can slide. And...
what had the rocket launcher that you could guide?
Yeah.
Perfect Dark.
Oh,
Perfect Dark.
I never played Perfect Dark. I don't think.
What?
I think I might have actually. Like... They had the facility in it as well, didn't it?
Yeah, and you had the I think it was called the moon cannon, where you could see through walls with it and heat signatures and shoot people. And you had a rocket launcher where you could guide it around and you get it on like the temple level and stuff. Anyway,
no, I haven't played.
But
I want to.
Perfect Dark was sick.
I'm actually getting back into 64 games now because on the Switch, like, I don't know, go back now and when was the last time you picked up a Nintendo 64 controller? It's the most thing
I've
ever.
got one here, eh?
Yeah, put it in your hands and pretend you're going to play a game with it, yeah? It's the most weirdest, stupidest setup.
It's in a box up there. I got one with a USB stick for something. I got a emulator or something.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play the OG controller, but I don't think I ever played it. It's just in a box.
It's rough. I hate it.
Because it's so weird. It's got the 3 sticks, eh?
But you're holding your hand playing, like that. You play like that. It's weird.
What was the game? No, I used to play Over the Top.
Over the Top.
I'm going to get one.
Over the Top. Yeah, go for it. I'm intrigued to see how this works.
It's not in there.
You haven't got it? No.
It's buried. I can see that it says on there N64 controllers on the box. But it's way too buried.
So
but yeah, I used to play. So your thumbs on your palms on the left hand side buttons, and you pinch the stick.
That's weird.
And these under here click the left trigger, and then obviously you can shoot the right trigger.
No,
and then
that's great.
It was mint because you could get everything heaps quick. And the what was the game? The Mario Party.
Yeah,
Mario Party
Mario
used to be on it, and you used to burn the hole in the middle of your hand. Remember? With one of the mini games, you used to have to pedal Mario to pedal, and you'd have to steer the stick and to light a light bulb.
I can't remember
to get rid of a ghost that comes.
Yeah.
Mate, and you used to get a mad hole in the middle of your hand, like just take all the skin off.
Oh my god, no, I didn't. No, that's probably because you were holding the control wrong, bro. Like, I think that might be 100% your fault. No, but if you play the old 64...
I'm going to take a photo and send it to you after I get the control out
I want to see
how you actually hold it.
Well, that's why you see the guys, they do the speed runs with like Mario on the SNES, like, and they play it on top now. Yeah, they play the controller like that. I've never, instead of doing that with the thumbs, they play it like this.
Because it's quicker to get to the buttons.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's because instead of using like the thumb and going back and forth between two like you do.
There was a guy that, well, I think he was playing Tetris, and he doesn't spin the blocks with a button. He sort of bangs it on his leg because it's quicker to bang it than it is to press it or something, or the input connection is way quicker. So it was like, I don't know what it is. I think it was Tetris he was playing. Right. It's just crazy, these people finding ways to play these old school games.
It's like the guys who play Tony Hawk's. None of them use the stick. They all use the cross. Because it's more accurate for the tricks.
Yeah, that's what the tricks. Yeah,
so I didn't know that. Cause I've always played it with the joysticks. Yeah, because I'm not like a super great. I am decent at Tony Hawk, but I'm not like these guys who get these 50 million.
Yeah, because you can push the directionals better.
Yeah, and they do it with the two finger. And they do it, and they don't use the stick at all. I'm like, okay, there you go. So there must be something to it,
Yeah,
they're out there. These people are out there.
Gee, we've gone on a few tangents.
So yeah, we have. Yeah, so sorry if I've what have we gone for an hour and 20 minutes, mate? Jeez. There
That's
we
good.
go.
That's good.
That's all right. Well, I think we've gone over most of the things I wanted to sort of go over with you, unless you've got anything else to say. The only other question I have is,
Far away.
and this is only to get you in trouble with your missus if she's watching. This is purely the only reason for asking this question. But what's the most money you've ever spent on Pokemon in one hit?
Ooh.
Something where
On
you
one hit.
yeah.
Well, she was involved with both of them, so it's not.
Oh, that's
It's.
all right. There
Well,
you go.
I think I'm okay. I definitely. Oh, gee. It's a few different things. I rebought a base set
Oh, wow.
and some slabs at the same time. Some PSA slabs, and well, of some Zards, and then so that was up there. But I also bought a case or two of Unbroken Bonds booster boxes. But that was before they got to $800. That was like 2020, early 2020 maybe. But it was a good like $3,000 or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. Shoot, they were getting up there. But I think Celebrations was a massive one as well.
Yeah.
When the
was fun.
pre-orders for the Zards and stuff, for the Celebration UPCs, sorry.
Do you still have one?
And all, yeah. I've got one in
nice.
an acrylic case. I sold a bunch before I left to come here to New Zealand. So that was sort of, I cut down a lot of my Celebration stuff. I had cases of random stuff. So I cut down a lot on that. But when that was announced and that dropped, I bought a bunch for personal collection. I had tubs of it. So ETBs and I went a bit crazy. I opened a heap, but ended up selling a heap before I moved here. But yeah, a few grand in a single pop.
Yeah,
it's definitely been up there. I'm thankful that the slabs I collect. I obsessed with Charizard, so Charizard and Reshiram are my go-tos. Reshiram and Charizard for Unbroken Bonds, obviously. When I first got back into it, they're the chasers. So but they're not crazy expensive, those slabs. And the gold Reshiram Charizard from Tag Team All Stars I pulled myself and got that graded. So in a 10. So I got a bit lucky there that one of the most expensive ones I actually pulled. But yeah, so I'm thankful that the ones I actually collect, and Aerodactyls, my number 3, it's not super crazy expensive. So that sort of stuff's, all right. Mrs. is okay with buying the odd card or slab in that sense. So it's not too bad. But yeah, definitely a few grand in single pops here and there.
it happens,
random stuff.
Yeah, you always don't think it's going to happen, and then it's, get a case here. I want this. Yeah, it happens.
I'm thankful that, or the missus is thankful that when I was moving to NZ and sort of still not settled in here, so I can't buy a heap while we're living at the old folks' place while we're moving down the street. Like I just can't buy a bunch of stuff and just store it because there's no room. And we've got boxes everywhere. So I'm quietly thankful that that's when 151 dropped. Otherwise, it went crazy on the Japanese stuff and crazy on the English sealed. Speaking of Japanese, pretty keen to get back into more of that. Over in New Zealand, it's not a heap of Japanese over here, mate.
Real.
So I might have to spark up my connections again and start getting that underway, because I was doing some Japanese rip and ships in Adelaide before I moved here.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun, man.
Japanese is fun as.
That was so good.
I actually just bought my first. I haven't bought Japanese in ages, but I've got the new two, whatever they're called. Wild Forces and whatever the other one's called. But I haven't opened Japanese in ages, but I'm actually excited to open it because
they're good. They're good. I mean, card quality is still top notch for that.
And they're fun. They look, the sparkly ones are always more sparkly than the English ones, I always think.
Hey, the English have gotten better. But definitely Japanese still takes the cake, I think, at the moment. But the English 100%. Are definitely improving. Interesting, the whole yellow border to silver border, but I think everyone's used to that now.
Oh no, I disagree. I think I was actually saying this. If you go back and watch,
you still like the yellow?
I was the one ripping on the yellow. I was that guy. I said it in multiple videos. I meant to make a montage of this ages ago. I never did. It was like 3 different videos where I was ripping on the borders, because I was opening Japanese stuff. And I'm like, oh, the cards are so much better. They should just go to grey borders. And then as soon as the English went to grey borders, I was that guy going, nah, I was wrong. I was wrong. I apologize. They gave me what I wanted, and I didn't want it after all. Okay, I'm sorry. This is my fault. I'm sorry. But like, yeah, I feel like the yellow just kind of became iconic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is now. I mean, you see it getting open now, and you're like, sweet, this is an older set. Yeah. It already brings back a hint of nostalgia when you see
already,
already, and it's only been Scarlet and Violet out for a handful of for a year or whatever.
It's been a year now. Nearly close to it.
Well, it's getting close if it's not already. When did base set
now?
Scarlet and Violet come out?
I feel like it was maybe January, February last year. Probably is getting up there. I can't remember.
Get close. Yeah. What's just ticked over a year in the TCG? What set?
I'm bad.
Don't know.
It'd be close because what we had: Scarlet, Paldea, Obsidian, whatever it's called,
Paradox.
Yeah, it'd be getting close to a year. The new set's coming out next month.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, 151. Yeah, we've had a few sets.
There's been a few, so it's probably getting close to a year.
Yeah. There's probably what 7, 8 sets. If you're including 151, Paldea and Fates.
Oh yeah, Paldea and Fates 151, and there was another one in there, wasn't there? Was there another holiday set? I feel like there's holiday sets way more too often. That's the other thing. Like Pokemon's getting too expensive in general. Like that's why I had to stop collecting. I'm still just finishing off my Sword and Shield folders, and then I'm not really collecting sets anymore just because it's too expensive. Like you say before, just collect the cards you want, collect some slabs. Sealed, I'm getting into now. I'm trying to get 5 of every holiday set.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I'll buy a case, rip 5 and keep 5, and just
sweet.
I'm getting really good at not digging into the collection at the moment, but I started collecting booster boxes too, and then I started ripping into them. So who knows?
Yeah, well, that's when the with my ears and then the moving country. That's when I fully just had to get out of buying Pokemon. It was just way too expensive. I was just sitting there ripping packs just for the hell of it, just with my daughter. So now we just do that elsewhere. But
and the other thing is I actually get more enjoyment, I guess, of you buy a booster box like $180, say, or 170, whatever it costs, but then I'm like, oh, that could have been like a nice new Elgato Light, or like a nice, you know what I mean? Like that could be a slightly better camera. That could be, another program I could download. You know what I mean? That's how I'm sort of trying to look at it now, but I don't know. I'm still reckless. I'm reckless, mate. You'll see me next Friday.
You're reckless and dangerous. I mean, when you're going live in a couple of days to open some Paldea and Fates, I think, aren't you?
Yeah. And the 5 boxes.
Yeah, I was like, he's not going to just rip one. It's probably going to be a case or 2.
I'll see. It's a Monday night. If it's too quiet, I'm not just going to sit there ripping stuff. But
it's Sunday in America, mate.
Oh, hopefully. I haven't done a Monday night.
Might be a few peeps.
I'm hoping. I haven't done a weekday before. I've only done the Friday, Saturdays, I think. Maybe I tried a Thursday once, maybe. I can't remember. I don't think it went well. But that was when I was in the middle of moving and I wasn't really committed to it.
You can't say it didn't go well because you're not consistent enough. The world needs to see more live Jolly, and you need to be consistent.
I'm trying. I would have this weekend I wanted to go, but it was just like my missus is going on holiday, so I had to it's just too much happening this week. But I'll probably drop this episode tomorrow night. What time do you drop Hips to the Weeks? Are you dropping one?
No. I've got way too much. I'm way behind on editing, bro.
All right, I will drop this probably tomorrow night.
So I'm not dropping for a bit, unfortunately.
Okay.
So
damn.
I'll be back in the swing of things when we move house in a couple of weeks, but I'll probably drop a video within the next 2 weeks. I'm halfway through an edit, but I'm just not stressing myself about the next one.
But it's going to be in the meantime.
Feel free. Yeah, go hard. Drop whenever. Are you going to premiere your
this? Yeah, pops? Well, I'll throw you in the thumbnail. And I'll premiere it. I know how to premiere now, mate. I know how to do a premiere now. See, I've been doing it for 2 years, and I've only just learned how to premiere 2 weeks ago. It's rough, eh?
Happy days. It's been fun, man.
Love it. Good chat, mate. I'm pretty sure we went through everything I wanted to ask you, so I didn't even have to look at my list that often. It actually kind of just happened naturally, mate.
Yeah, that's good. That's the way you want it.
All right. Well, give yourself a plug first, though, before we get out. Plug your channel, plug your Instagram, even though it's written right there.
Thanks, Charlie. But yeah, guys, hit us up. Goodtimez Gaming on YouTube and Instagram. come join the community on the Discord as well. But share your channels with me, share your hits for sure if you got Pokemon openings. And yeah, excited to see and connect with you and everyone in the community. But thank you so much, Jolie, for having us on. It's been a wicked first podcast. It's been chilled. I mean, you're a lad. You're a lad, mate. Keen to see more from you too, man.
Oh,
So
thanks, man.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being the first guest, and thank you for coming on. And it was fun. Like, I was very nervous coming on to do this, so thanks for making it easy and fun and relaxed. And I hope you get a lot out of it too.
No, it'll be good, mate. Thank you. One last thing.
Yep.
Oh,